Hi, welcome back to my channel. Okay, today's part 2 of fur, and let's get started. This is the dark chromium medium. My darker range is going to be, it's very hard for me to read colors on these. Terracotta, dark Naples ochre, I was right. That's going to be my final palette for the fur. At this point, each hair counts. Where before you were able to go a little faster because it was only an undercoating, now we're going to put on each individual hair, and every hair that you put on has to have a point. I'm adding in 1 or 2 hairs. Next to it, I pick up another pencil and I add it in. Keep switching your colors so that you get a really good mix. Keep your pencil tip sharp. See, even this I would consider getting a little bit dull. One more pass through and I'll probably sharpen it up. The white will add depth. And then I add more. And you keep on going. It wouldn't surprise me if this picture took me a full week to finish, working on it every day. And see, it's really beginning to change over to looking like fur. Okay, I'm starting to really like the way it's looking, but I want to give it some real rich depthness. And this is the key. Okay, this is just a sanding block that I bought at Home Depot or wherever. This is the kit you get with your eraser. This electric eraser came from U.S. Art Supply. It's a company off of Amazon. I've worked as a sponsor. This is not a sponsored video. I have been a sponsor for this company in the past because I love this company. Everything I get from them is very well made, and I've been happy. I've never been dissatisfied with any of the products. And this is their eraser. It's 2 AA batteries or AAA, I don't remember what it is. And it spins just by clicking the button. The eraser will originally come looking like this, with a squared off point. You have to just simply insert it into the metal. This comes out. You put it into the metal. It clips down and you insert it. And that's all there is. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the block and simply rub until you get a point. The sharper the point, the better. Okay, keep going. This is only part way done because I don't need to waste my battery. Here's the final. The sharper the better. Then what you're going to do is you're going to remove wax. Okay, comes with a little brush. Use it for when the shavings, it just brushes off. This way you don't, if you use it sometimes with your hand, you'll end up brushing color off and foggying your picture. You want to keep it sharp, so save that brush. And this is only around $8 for this kit. I'm going to use my magnifying glass, and I'm going to take off a hair. You see how nicely it takes it off. Then I'm going to go back. It doesn't lift all the color, okay? It lifts some of the color. And that's how I'm going to get other colors into it. And it's very gentle on the paper. If you don't hold it down, your tooth remains and your wax is off. Come in with another color. Okay. Maybe a black hair or two because it makes it look realistic. And then I'm going to go back to my eraser and I'm going to take some more off. Then I'm going to put it back on. Each time you do this, it's going to add that rich undercoat because it's going to be a little fuzzy, but the top lines are going to be smooth and sharp. And that's how you get that fuzzy undercoat with that smooth overcoat. This trick works on all fur. That's why I said it doesn't matter if you're working on a tiger or a dog or a cat, a mouse, anything that you see in the books. This is the techniques that you'll use. Add in a little bit of white, a hair or two. I added in a darker color. I added in a Copalt Mortium. It's pencil 9201. It's just a medium brown. It's got a little bit of a reddish tint to it. But when you mix it in with the oranges and the yellows, it really makes it pop. And that's basically all you have to do to make fur. Continue. It takes a long time. I've been working over an hour in just this little spot by itself. Take it on, put it off. Take it on, put it off. The more you work on it, the deeper and richer the fur looks. At this point, each hair counts. Where before you were able to go a little faster because it was only an undercoating, now we're going to put on each individual hair, and every hair that you put on has to have a point. I'm adding in 1 or 2 hairs. Next to it, I pick up another pencil and I add it in. Keep switching your colors so that you get a really good mix. Keep your pencil tip sharp. See, even this I would consider getting a little bit dull. One more pass through and I'll probably sharpen it up. The white will add depth. And then I add more. And you keep on going. It wouldn't surprise me if this picture took me a full week to finish, working on it every day. And see, it's really beginning to change over to looking like fur. Once you're happy with what an area looks like, you move on to the next. Now, I'm pretty happy with what this is looking like right now. And you can see, you can almost pet it. It looks so real. So I'm going to continue with this picture for another couple of hours. And once I get to the whole picture done, then I'll come back and I will show you how to shade it up at the end. Okay, I'm using Kelly Green in the eyes, in the lighter part of the eye. And using a hatching. Really, eyes can be a whole tutorial in itself. But they're not really different than anything else if you use stroke by stroke and none of this. I'm adding in the yellow in between. Giving it a little bit of a golden hue. And of course white. Now, of course, I've been working on them a little bit, as you can see. And I'm going to add a little pink in the corner, but not too much, like you could barely see it. A splash or a hint. And then a darker indigo blue. For a shadow. Right now my paper is slightly saturated. So I had meant to put the camera on before, but it wasn't charged. And then I added the Posca for the highlights. 2 coats. Because the first coat usually settles into the picture. Let that dry for a second, and then I'm gonna use, what is this? Spring green. And you could see why a lot of videos that artists are working on the book, you're not seeing half of what they're doing. And I hate to snitch on anybody. It's not what I want to do, because I too do those type of videos. But if I really want to do you justice, this is slow. Takes hours, not a night. And just going over things. And as I said, my paper right now is pretty saturated, so I'm almost done. I didn't count the layers. Too many to count. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little generalized shading to it. Okay? Now, I have all these beautiful lines, and you don't want to screw that up. But since the head forms, you got to put some things in. I need something darker than this. Well, yes, darker. So I'm going to darken up the edges slightly and more in the bridge of the nose. Now, remember when I told you, whenever there's a corner, you know, in that little triangle, it's going to be a little darker. That's just kind of the way life does it. It helps give things shape. Next week's video, I'm going to actually give you all the rules and generalization of shading. Where all your ins and outs on things need to be. I'll probably be doing these little detail work for probably another hour. Until I'm completely satisfied. It's good, but it's not there yet. Remember, when you're doing these final touches, very light, because you want the strokes to stay there. You don't want to blend them out. And oh, most important, when you're doing fur, do not use a blending pencil. Do not use blending anything on there. You will lose your strokes as soon as you put that there. Some artists swear by they have to use blenders, they use oils and this and that. Not me. Very rarely touch my paper with anything except my pencil. Only in rare instances where maybe the paper is funky. But when I have good paper, and this is good paper, I wouldn't touch this. But everybody does it differently. I see some artists that absolutely swear by it. And that's okay. I'm not going to tell them they're not wrong. I just feel that it gives it too much of a marker. And if I wanted to use magic marker, I would. It sort of collapses your good work. But that's just my opinion. And that's all it is just my opinion. So if you're using it and you like the look, by all means, go for it. No two artists are totally alike, and nobody does the same thing. Okay. Well, it took me all week to do. This does not come easy. You have to have patience. You have to have drive, and you have to put it down a lot. And that's what I did. I put it down when I couldn't draw another line. And that's okay. You don't have to finish these pages in a day. So, this is my tiger. What did I do while I was not on camera? Well, first I filled in the white. The color palette will be on my website. And I just did it the same way over and over and over again until I got this. And I probably could work on it a little bit more if I had some more time. It's not hard. I know you can do it. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
What you saw and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell.